Good evening. Welcome to a special edition of APTN National News. I'm Melissa Ridgen. We are here live at the Forks, the historic Forks in downtown Winnipeg. Obviously getting ready for Indigenous Day live, which you can see getting prepped up behind me here. You are not going to want to change the dial. Stay on APTN. You've got a great night in store for you. But first, before I tell you all about what's in store for you tonight, I am joined by the most famous jigger of the modern era, certainly. Mikey Harris is here with us. Mikey.
Hello.
So we had planned we were going to do, like, let's just bust some moves. We were going to jig. Then you ruined yourself. What'd you do?
So I was dancing as usual, and I heard a nice little pop. And, you know, I kind of had a minor tear in my ACL. But you know what? We're out here still, you know, supporting and... yeah,
well,
coming back.
What's in store for? Okay, so you're not dancing tonight. You're set to take the stage tonight. Jacob and Sienna, your brother and sister, are going to be taking the stage.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit what's in store for the dancing.
I choreographed a 4-minute set. It's kind of a mixed fusion of Métis jigging with hip hop music. We have Jacob and Sienna, some Métis dancers, and some hip hop dancers. Big boom and gonna go crazy.
This has gone bananas on social media. Like, you've been doing this style for a while. Social media just took this to like a whole other stratosphere in the past, probably, would you say 5 years?
Past 3, 4, 5 years, it's just kind of just taken over. So.
And we've watched. Of course, I've had you on APTN in Focus. And we love you at APTN. You know, and you used to have time. Do you remember you used to have time to teach the little kids during COVID?
Yeah, the kids. Definitely.
Doing the Zoom classes, teaching kids the Red River Jig, which was incredible. My nieces and my son took it, and I'd always kind of be like, right there, just being the big kid in there.
They're on the come up, guys. They're on the come up, definitely, 100%.
I'm coming, right? Watch me next.
Yeah.
I will not be Dizzy Feet Part 2. I think you can appreciate that I don't have that level of skill left in my nearly 50-year-old self. But we're, you know, we've watched this kind of meteoric rise, and especially in the last year, obviously, with Canada's Got Talent. How do you get your head around this, and what's next?
We're just going to keep going up. So, like, you know, after Canada's Got Talent, things just got more busy and more busy. And, you know, with my injury, I don't have time to heal, but we're going to take the time, and we're going all over the place, you know, all over Canada. We're busy all summer. And
you have, I mean, I can't even imagine. How do you keep all of this? This isn't just like a couple local kids, Winnipeg kids on TikTok with millions of likes and followers at this point. This is more than that. Do you have a huge team keeping this truck rolling, the Mikey Harris truck rolling?
It's just the family. So myself, my dad, my mom, my siblings, and my grandma. It's kind of the ones keeping it going. And we all work together to make this thing happen. So
it's a machine.
It's just a family thing.
Machine.
That's it.
Oh, I love this. I'm really sorry to see this, and I would say you got to make sure to take time to heal, because that's not an injury that you want to recur.
100%.
Is there anybody that you want to give shout outs to here tonight?
Shout out to the whole crew tonight. Ashley, Ari, Jacob, and Sienna, my grandma, my mom, family, everyone. Let's kill this tonight, man.
Yes.
Let's go. Yeah.
I'm so excited for the entertainment.
Of course.
Lots in store tonight. I'll tell you. So, you know, everybody knows for Indigenous Day Live, which is starting this evening. Check your local listings. It'll have like the local times from where you're watching at. Thompson Highway is going to be there, of course. Playwright, novelist, just an incredible person. We've got a couple of sit-downs with him to show you or tell you about what's kind of behind his process a little bit. Let's take a look.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Thompson Highway. I am from northern Manitoba, way up north, close to Nunavut, but now these days I live in Gatineau, Quebec. Okay, well, where I come from, there is no human habitation. It's all virgin forest and lakes and rivers like you would not believe. Stunning, stunning landscape that nobody's ever seen except those who come from there. It's inaccessible to the common human being like yourself. And to get music, the only recorded music that we can get our hands on was if you had a transistor radio that operated on one battery, just one battery back in those days. The kind of transistors they had back then, they were the size of cell phones, and very small. And the only reception you could get was at night. The later at night, the better. And and the higher you hung the radio up on a tree or some kind of whatever elevated position, the better the reception. So that's what we did. It wasn't just my sister. People in general would hang their radios up in the trees, and hope to get a reception. And the largest radio tower, the most powerful radio tower in those days, back in the 50s, was happened to be in Nashville, Tennessee. So all the music that we got came from Nashville, Tennessee. All the country stars, Kitty Wells, Hank Williams, Patsy Cline, all those people, they sang for us. And it sounded to us, it was like, we'd fall asleep to this music in our tents. We lived in tents all the time. And it was like these trees were bleeding country music and into our hearts, and it became part of us. And the country music is in our veins, and we live and breathe it into us. For me to be able to write country music today, now that I became a professional musician along the way, for me to write country music is just second nature. It comes naturally. Cree makes me laugh automatically. The first syllable you say in Cree, it makes you laugh. Ultimately, you don't even know what you're talking about. You laugh because the syllables are so funny. They bounce off the tongue. It's a trickster language. It's a joyful language, and we say some stuff like something as simple as cherries in Cree, for instance. Cherries is not very funny in English, is it? It doesn't make you laugh. You're not smiling at all right now. In fact, you're looking kind of sad because you're thinking about cherries, which is not a very happy thought to have. But you say it in Cree. As soon as you say it in Cree, you start to laugh immediately. And how you say cherries in Cree is "jeeries." See? And we sort of do that with the body too. You know, we do this for the neck, knee, that kind of stuff. It's a clownish language, and so first syllable in Cree, and you're laughing to be the band already. And the second you switch to English, you stop laughing automatically. Well, country music, most music is about love. You know, popular music, it's country music, no matter what kind of music, rhythm and blues, you know, Motown. It's all about love. The Supremes, that's all they ever sang about was love. And so Cree, so it is with Cree. When you sing country in Cree, you sing about love a lot.
Love Thompson Highway there. Just one of many talented artists and performers that are set to take the stage tonight at Indigenous Day Live. You can see it right behind me here. I want to show you some of the dancers that you can expect. Take a look.
Beanie John is a two-spirit multidisciplinary artist from Kahiwan Cree Nation in Alberta. John is Taino and Cree, and their ancestry integrates shape-shifting, dancing, and storytelling.
I live and breathe it. As soon as I wake up, I am my culture. It's not something that I could just put down. So when people are like, so you know, just like that question, it's just like living and breathing. It's just so natural to have culture, because you just like you take a shower, you smudge. Just like you put down an offering, you eat. You know. So there's just those balances that are natural.
A talented hoop and grass dancer, John mixes contemporary dances with traditional styles.
It's not just performing, but it's telling our story as individuals and as our people and as our nation. So I always like that first about dancing, is it's not just about everyone else. You kind of get to focus on yourself a little bit and where you stand in your dance and how it makes you feel. And then you go out there and then you start dancing for yourself and then your whole community and then your family and so on.
John is passionate about inspiring Indigenous peoples to feel empowered about their indigeneity and continues to teach the art of storytelling to Indigenous youth through dance.
7 generations back, 7 generations forward is how my parents always taught us to look. So you always make sure that everything that you're doing is for the next generation. It's not just for tomorrow or next year or the next 5 years. So that really always held really close to me with that.
Katie Coochie is an Ojibwe professional dancer from Nipissing First Nation, an Ojibwe reserve in Northern Ontario. Coochie's love for dance was ignited by watching traditional dance performances in her community. It wasn't until she was 7 years old that Coochie began taking professional ballet classes.
That has definitely influenced my dance, and that's always in the back of my mind. And even just the stories of our ancestors dancing, I always think about how lucky I am to be in a Western dance space, because my ancestors weren't even given that opportunity not too long ago, and so I always bring the idea of their traditional dancing into the Western space, and I'm thankful for that.
Coochie touched on what she and the other dancers have planned during the show.
We have all the dancers coming together in one piece. We're kind of doing duets, and then a group piece, and then another duet. It's just everyone's just dancing and jamming out together on stage, and so we're creating that, and it's really exciting to be dancing with so many new people.
And originally from Ganawage and now living in Montreal, Barbara Gane Rutdini Daibo is Mohawk and an award-winning choreographer and dancer. She specializes in combining traditional First Nations dance with contemporary styles to create works that highlight the diversity of Indigenous perspectives.
For me, when I want to create a piece, I find what is the best vocabulary to express this piece. So when I have more dance styles to draw from, I'm able to create a phrase that is expression of what I want to say better, I find. It's a movement vocabulary, just like a word vocabulary.
Daibo says while she still danced during the pandemic, the performance at Indigenous Day Live will be so energetic for her and the audience.
Performing live just gives you so much energy and a new life to perform, because for me, when I perform live, it's an exchange of energy with the audience. And when I was dancing during the pandemic on camera, from my computer, it was different because we didn't have that exchange of energy. So this to me is going to be so powerful, and I'm so excited for it.
Those are just a few of the many talented dancers and performers we have here at Indigenous Day Live.
We are live here at the Forks for Indigenous Day Live. Lots of more performers to give you a little highlight, a little sneak peek about, but we have to take a break. Stay with us, more after this. Welcome back. As you can see, we are live here at the Forks, downtown Winnipeg for Indigenous Day Live. You can see the big stage. They're just getting ready back there. We're here with this special newscast, a special edition of APTN National News, telling you kind of what you can expect here tonight on the main stage for Indigenous Day Live. Be sure to check your local listings to find out what time everything gets underway. But right now, Adam Garnett-Jones, he is the Director of TV Content and Special Services here at APTN. He joined APTN in 2021, so this is actually his first Indigenous Day Live. He sat down with Daryl Stranger to give him a little talk about what this show is all about. Let's take a listen in.
Yeah, thanks, Melissa. I'm here with Adam. Adam, thanks so much for joining us. So, can you tell us the theme of this year's Indigenous Day Live?
Absolutely. So the theme for Indigenous Day Live this year is celebrating our lands. It's the first year that we've had a theme for all of us to gather around, and we're pretty excited about it.
Now, each act is led by a woman or an LGBTQS2+. I hope I'm saying that right. Why was that so important for this year?
Well, it's funny, the idea for the theme came from the programming team, and we brought on some new artistic directors this year, Andy Morrow, Tara Bagan, and co-artistic director Danielle Waugh. And they really felt that their teachings about the land and the earth as mother connected to the idea of having women and two-spirit artists on stage. And so they said, hey, what if we do this as part of the theme? And we really embraced that and ran with it, and we're proud of what they came up with.
Now, it's been such a hard couple of years with the COVID-19 pandemic, and there's unmarked graves, reckoning with racism. Why is it so important to celebrate this day?
Well, I think it's important every year, but you said it, it's been a really rough couple of years, and so I think that more than ever the community just needs it. I was at the stage last night, and the whole design and the art, seeing the artists on stage, it's just this incredible breath of fresh air, and I know that it's something that APTN audiences look forward to every year, either coming to the Forks or watching it on TV, and I think we just need that gathering and that healing as a community.
And what are you most looking forward to?
I'm most looking forward to the Bannock Babes, I think. It's a Manitoba-based drag queen trio, and it's going to be their first time on APTN, I think, as part of IDL. And I just think the fun and the energy that they bring is going to be really spectacular.
All right, Adam, thanks so much for joining us here and talking a little bit about IDL today.
Thank you.
Melissa, back to you.
We have to take another break, but there's still lots more highlights still to come. Stay with us. Hello, welcome back to this special edition of APTN National News. We are here at the Forks for Indigenous Day Live. I want to show you a couple singers who you can expect to see in the show tonight.
Aloha is an artist and performer with many talents, hailing from the Lheidli territory in British Columbia. Her first taste with music and performing came as a dancer, where her mom taught her and her siblings. Then a surprise drum lesson at 12 led her on another journey as an artist. Aloha will be on the drums as part of the Indigenous Day Live house band.
I was with a friend and I was like, oh my gosh, I got asked to do this thing and I'm going to be surrounded by Indigifems doing music in a new place, in a new community, and I definitely felt like a huge heart lift of hope for further connection and learning.
She is part of 4 musicians that have teamed up to create the powerful music ensemble that is the IDL House Band for APTN Indigenous Day Live 2022. The IDL House Band promises to keep your feet moving all night long. For Aloha, music is about having a safe space to share with herself and others.
When I play music and when I write music, my intention with it is to build this world for myself and for those who experience my music to feel safe, to find belonging in who they are. For me, my music has definitely been a vessel for that.
Melody Courage is a Métis soprano with Dene, Cree, and Chippewan heritage. Courage has performed in several digital productions during the pandemic, but for her, attending something live and in person again is an experience like no other.
It feels pretty good. Even attending live performances, I just get so jazzed, and I'm just very excited to be a part of things again. So, so I'm very excited about this.
Her talents are in high demand from contemporary composers, as she is skilled at singing and performing in numerous languages. Being able to perform in different languages is what Courage enjoys the most.
I love singing in the different languages because there's so many different sounds, especially in the Indigenous languages, because there's so many different sounds that aren't in your English or traditional opera that you get to explore, some softer sounds, and so it's been really a treat kind of being able to explore these languages. I just love it.
Both of these talented women will take the stage tonight as part of our Indigenous Day Live coverage.
She is a talented poet, a throat singer. Tahalik Partridge is just a powerhouse. We have a profile of her. Let's take a look at that.
Ay Tahalik Partridge ngubunga nuna bimit sayawunga ku jameo mana adwa milagama sanangwati ubunga amalo sa gallery pinasituvunga. I grew up in Nunavut and Nunavik, and my home community is Kuujjuaq in Nunavik, northern Quebec. For real, living in a city is a big shock. You can't just breathe. Whenever I'm in the north, it's just like a weight is lifted. As soon as I step off the plane, it's like, oh, here, this is where I'm supposed to be. It's like breathing for your mind. I hear a fan noise. And could you just maybe turn the sound down just a little bit? Maybe a little bit up. Sorry. I think I've always been an artist. I think I've always been somebody who needed to make things for my own kind of well-being. I've always loved to write. I love to draw. I love to make traditional clothing. In our culture, we are expected to make things. We are expected to innovate. We don't see difference between making something that is utilitarian and making something that is made purely for beauty or purely to make a statement. Grape soda in the parking lot is what marks my one memory of my grandmother. I always say that my work is about questions that I have and examining those questions and not necessarily coming to any conclusions, just observations of life around me, of my own experiences of my fellow Inuit especially. What if we relearned all the terms for ideas that English does not understand? What would we say? Would it be too much? Would it take too long to say anything?
Well, that is all I have for you for this special edition of APTN National News, live from the Forks for Indigenous Day Live. As you can see, there are tons of incredible performers that you're going to want to tune in to watch tonight. Check your local listings for the live times, because it would vary depending on where you are in this fine country of ours. So do that. I'm Melissa Ridgen. Thanks to the crew, everybody here from APTN. We love that you can join us. We always appreciate that. And be sure to tune into Indigenous Day Live tonight. Have a great rest of your weekend.
Until daylight, get it on and then on, baby girl, let's create life. Or maybe do wrong, but forever I'll stay tight. Chopping those behind me right quick like a brake light.